Joining me live at the desk in Canberra before his fourth budget in a term. He's just told me he's the first Treasurer to deliver that since Ben Chifley, is the Treasurer, Jim Chalmers. Thanks for your time.
Good morning, Andrew.
Let me start by asking about this energy bill relief. A week ago it was announced power bills were to go up by up to $200 a year, and you're giving people back only $150. They're not going to be dancing in the streets over that, are they?
Well, we're doing what we responsibly can to help people with the cost of living. You know, these cost of living pressures are front of mind for a lot of Australians, and they'll be front and centre in the budget. And this energy bill assistance is a bit of extra hip pocket help for households. We know, even with all the progress we're making as a country together on inflation, we know that people are still under pressure, and this responds to some of that pressure.
Looks like an election bribe, really. I mean, you're doing it for 2 quarters, then cutting it off.
Well, I don't think so. I mean, this is the third time that we've done the energy bill rebates, 2 lots of 300 and now extending it for 6 months. And again, it's about recognising that even with all this progress on inflation, you know, we got inflation from higher than 6% and rising when we came to office, now 2.4%. We know that people are still under the pump. And so we're doing what we responsibly can to help people with the cost of living, not just energy bill rebates, but cheaper medicines, but also this historic investment in bulk billing, because more bulk billing means less pressure on families too.
It feels like a big band-aid over a deeper problem with the energy transition.
Well, there's 2 things that we're doing simultaneously. You know, if you look at the default market offer that was released in the last fortnight or so, one of the big issues there is the unreliability of the legacy parts of the system. And so we need to make sure that we continue to get more cleaner and cheaper and reliable energy into the system. We're doing that. And in the meantime, we're helping people with their electricity bills. Don't forget, in the last year to December, in the official inflation data, electricity prices went down by 25% because we're helping people with their energy bills. We're extending that for another 6 months because we recognise people are still under the pump.
I mean, effectively, you're taking people's taxes and giving them back to them on their energy bills, right?
Well, if you look right throughout the budget, you know, whether it's investments in Medicare and bulk billing, whether it's investments in cheaper medicines, what budgets are all about is taking the country's priorities, and in this case, the government's priorities, Medicare, cost of living, making our economy more resilient, making room in the budget to do those things. And we've helped engineer a stunning turnaround in the budget, $200 billion improvement in the budget since we came to office, the biggest nominal improvement of all time. And that's helped us make room for these investments, whether it's helping with the cost of living or building Australia's future or making our economy more resilient in the face of all of this global economic uncertainty.
Is any part of this policy an apology to voters for not coming through with that promise to cut their power bills by $275? In 2022, you yourself were caught on camera really pushing that policy. Is any of this sort of an apology for that?
Well, I'd describe it differently, as you'd expect, you know, and I would describe it as hip pocket help for households. I would describe it as a government responding to the pressures that people still feel despite this progress that we've made on inflation. And if you take a step back for a moment, what the budget will be about, it will be about the progress we've made together to here and a plan to make the most of that progress from here. And part of that plan is rebuilding living standards, which were falling sharply when we came to office. That means helping with the cost of living, getting wages moving again, the tax cuts which are already rolling out in the economy. All of this is about recognising that people are under pressure. We can respond to that in a responsible way. And that's why really the defining feature of our term in government, and certainly the defining feature of Tuesday night's budget, will be helping with the cost of living.